is a huge country. From Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, the land changes from mountains to valleys to plateaus to plain. We got Arunachal in the east and Ankleshwar in Gujarat in the west. There are different kind of climate, there are different soil, irrigation methods, culture, religion, language spoken, dresses worn, food that we eat. It changes from state to state and sometimes even within the state in a country like India. This is what gives us the diversity. This is what gives us the rich cultural heritage and past that we Indians are so proud of and that attracts tourists from all over the globe. These variations, instead of giving birth to fights, actually lead to richness of our country. The same Devi who is worshipped during Navratri in Rajasthan is worshipped as goddess Durga during the Durga Puja of West Bengal. The harvest festival is celebrated as Baishakhi in Punjab, Onam in Kerala, Pongal in Tamil Nadu. Similar is the Garva Nitra of Gujarat, Bihu of Assam and Ghumar of Rajasthan. The most important factor of the unity and diversity of India is the belief that all cultures of all the states, of all the union territories are equal, and we all at the end of the day belong to a vast and beautiful country called India. This is what keeps us united and strong. Just like diversity means the various types of culture, all of which are equal in respect to one another, there is another term that actually plagues or harms our country, that is inequality. Parts of the society are treated to be inferior to the other part. For example, the rich and the poor. The rich, they can enjoy everything that money can buy. But the poor, first of all, this frequently suffer from malnutrition because they don't get a balanced diet. They are not properly educated. They lack a good housing or shelter. They even can't have good access to healthcare facilities. And not only about rich and poor, also sometimes we have hatred between people of different religion. They fight against each other. People fight on the basis of language. People fight on the basis of sexes. Means generally all over the world, the men are considered to be the better. The women, they are inferior. These are called inequalities, prejudices, and discrimination. Now, prejudice means when you have a preconceived notion, when you already think of something, and that thinking, that way of thinking is not based on scientific reasoning. Okay, that person is white-skinned. That person is seems like a tourist. He must be very rich. Why? Can't people be from middle class or poor and travel? That person's Hindi is not that good, or that person's English is not at all good. Why? You should applaud him. That person is actually trying to speak a new language. Another term is there, that is discrimination, which is even more dangerous. Discrimination means acting on your prejudices. When you have a notion in your mind, have a thought in your mind that is not very harmful, but it becomes harmful when you put it into action. The British ideas regarding Indians led to discrimination. The British, when they captured India, they considered the Indians to be dark-skinned people who were illiterate, who didn't know anything, who were superstitious. In short, Indians were just like the animals in the jungle. They needed to be caught and civilized. So because of this kind of thought that the British had, they started discriminating on the Indians. Indians were not allowed well-paid jobs. They were not allowed education, especially higher education in British institutions. In those times, some people like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, they fought against the British. They fought even against the Indians to remove various inequalities and social evils like untouchability. That means a person of high caste like a Brahmin is considered superior, and a person of low caste, a Shudra, is not even allowed to touch the Brahmin. They fought against gender bias, that is, women should not be allowed to educate themselves, they should not go to schools and colleges, they should not have a job. Have you heard of a custom in India called the Sati Pratha? In that, if a woman's husband dies before her, and if that person, that is the woman and the man, they belong to a high caste, generally the Brahmins, the woman would be burnt alive at the pyre of the husband. Raja Ram Mohan Roy fought against this evil. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar walked towards making the country literate. The Swami Dayanand Saraswati, he worked to remove untouchability and women empowerment. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was a freedom fighter. Ultimately, when the British left India on 15th August 1947, the leaders of independent India, they kept the problems in mind. They discussed what should be done, and when they started framing the Constitution of India, that is, as laws and regulations about how the country should be governed, they took several steps to remove these inequalities. They tried to bring social equality, that is, all castes, men, women, village, city, everybody is equal to each other. Economic inequalities, they tried to uplift the poor, to give better education, healthcare, housing to the poor. Political equality, all people above the age of 18 and a citizen of India can vote. They can be members of political parties. Also, they gave the citizens of India some basic rights, like right to freedom. All of us Indians are free. We are equal. Nobody can exploit us. If somebody tries to do so, we can go and lodge a complaint. Similarly, the government also follows the directive principles of state policy. These principles help the government to make rules for running the country. And the main objective has always been to remove all sorts of inequality and to bring growth of our country.